Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the tutorial. If you guys are new to the video and you guys haven't seen part 1, please go down in the description and click the link down there to part 1 of this tutorial so you guys can go ahead and get started from the beginning. But if you're from to part 1 and you're continuing with part 2, let's go ahead and continue on with the tutorial. Next, we need to prep our ice paths for water, and how we're going to do that is we're going to go ahead and dig a block down like this so the water will flow in this direction. Now the problem is that it's going to flow out in here into the water area, which we don't want. So what we're going to do is we're going to place in a temporary block here on the side to stop that from happening so it goes outside the farm. Any path you have outside the farm you don't need to worry about. It's just in here inside the water. But nonetheless, you still need to break these blocks out 2 blocks ahead of your glass, just like that, all the way around the farm. Then anywhere in between in the water, you need to make sure that you block that off. So we're going to mark that here with a glass block. Put a glass block there, come around on this side, put a glass block there, and now we can break that one out, which will allow that to be a pocket so the water won't go anywhere. You need to do that to every single one of these inside of your water streams. Now what you're going to do after you're done doing that is you're going to go ahead and break out your glass block, replace it with a water block, and then replace that with some ice, and then you can break out your other blocks just right like this, like that, and then you should see as you do that, as you go along, you have an air block in between that and your next glass block. So that's when you know that's where your next water source goes. So again, you'd go ahead and break the second block out here. That goes right down into nothing. So we can go ahead and place in our water source, place in our ice block right there, which doesn't work very well. Let's go ahead and try that again. I don't think that messed anything up. So let's go ahead and put that in here like that and place that back in with our ice right here, if I can get that. Geez, that was awfully difficult. Alright, so now as you can see, that leads us with one air block in between our next thing. So you're going to go ahead and complete that all the way around the entire farm. So now as you can see, we got our water sources in with a block in between each one just like this, and it's flowing around the farm nice and neatly. Now keep in mind you are going to have to put a block of your water sources, or some of them are going to freeze over like some have to mine because I was stupid and forgot to do that. So remember to cover all of your water sources 2 blocks above with a glass block like that, and if you don't, you're going to have to redo it just like I am. I'm going to have to redo the entire process all over again for all of these frozen blocks. So once all of your water streams are in place and not frozen over and you got them all covered like I have now, go ahead and hop in your water stream and take it for a test ride. Make sure it takes you all the way around the entire farm. Once you've tested your water stream and you made it all the way around the farm like I am now, and you've made it all the way around this last bend and you know that everything works, go ahead and exit. And now that you're done with that, you know that your farm is completely ready to go. So this is the hardest part of the farm. If you've nailed this, this is the most confusing, most frustrating part of the farm that I've had to deal with when I was making that one. Now that I've got it down, it's actually pretty simple if you follow every single direction that I give you. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to move on to the next step, which is building our floor. So the floor is actually going to come up at this level, and we're going to go ahead and carry that down all the way down to the other side of the farm, all the way stretching out all the way to the edge of the farm here like this, and actually to right here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring that whole floor out by 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's going to come out to this water stream right here. And then on the outside right here, you're going to go ahead and build up this wall too high, and that'll give you a nice little ledge so that way you don't fall out. So what you're going to do is you're going to build this floor here 4 wide all the way down and across, right on top of here from this point over. You're going to do the same thing on that side from the farm over. From this point, just like here, you're going to make this 4 wide from that point over and the entire farm, building up a wall on this side. Now also you're going to be covering these guys too, so go ahead and cover these guys like this, and then carry these two glass blocks just like this all the way across each of the water paths. So your farm should be looking like this now, guys. You should have a 4 wide floor area on both sides of your farm, along with these 2 wide rails going all the way across, covering your water paths. Also, you need to have the walls outside of your ice, where the ice streams are going to be right there. And remember that we do have these temporary blocks in here keeping our water sources from freezing, which we're going to be able to take those out here in just a moment. So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to go ahead and come over here, and we're going to come right off this corner here by 12 blocks. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the layer that the or the level that the ice lakes will be going at. So these need to be all built out to the exact same size as your water collection system down below. So you're going to go ahead and build out this entire 5 wide area by however long you made your farm and however many modules you made. You're going to put ice flats above every single one of them, 12 blocks high. Once your flats are all in and your areas above your water are all covered, you can go ahead and come on down here and remove all of the temporary blocks you have covering your water. There, and I believe over here too. Once all those blocks are removed, go ahead and come back up here to your ice flats, and what you're going to do now is you're going to border every one of your ice flats with your blocks of choice. Hey guys, later in the video I realized that we need to place dispensers here on this side of your ice flat, which is away from your storage area over there. So the far side of your ice flat, you need to place 5 dispensers facing upwards with empty water buckets inside of them. Once you have your ice flats all boarded off like this, what you're going to do is when you come to the front of your farm where your storage is, go ahead and come to this side of your lakes, and you're going to place down an obsidian on this side on all your modules right here. Now also on the right hand side of your ice flats, you're going to be placing in a wall just like this, but on the left hand side of your ice flat, you're going to go ahead and build up a wall like this, 1 block out like that, leaving that block open. So again, on this side, you're going to be leaving that block open too, not putting any blocks there, and putting one there as well. Also down here, you're going to be coming out by 1 block as well again, so go ahead and come out by like this, build yourself a little trough like that, and you're going to bring this all the way around just like that. You can place in a block right there and build this all the way around just like that. Once you have this look, guys, you're going to go ahead and come over here to your blocks right here beside your ice, and you're going to cover these with a 1 block high block just like this all the way around your farm. Once you have those blocks covered, you can go ahead and take your water sources and place them underneath those blocks. When you get down to the end of your lake, when you place these water sources in, you should see that they all fill up all the way down to the end, just like it does right there. You're going to notice that some of the lakes are going to start freezing over, which is perfectly fine. You're going to want all these to freeze over to a solid sheet of ice. Next, grab your slime blocks and go ahead and come over here to your obsidian. You're going to come up by 2 blocks just like this and place 5 across like so, all the way across your obsidian, just like that. Grab your regular pistons and place these in the downwards position just like that, and grab your sticky pistons and come off that by 3 blocks. Come around to this side and place in an observer right there, and then you're going to place 2 observers in right here and break that one out right there. So they should be off-centered, but that'll go ahead and power all 5 pistons. You're going to break these 2 sticky pistons out and place one in that direction, which should be 1 block away from your slime blocks. Place in a permanent obsidian block there, and then a temporary one there. That'll stop your machine from flying off without you. So go ahead and break that final piston out there. Come off the back of that by 2 blocks like this, and 1 up and then 1 over like this, and you can break that one out. Now we need to place in a temporary block right here and grab our observers. Let's place 2 observers in here like that, and then 1 up like this, and also 1 on the side right here, and you can break that one out and break this one out. Now we need to go ahead and get our sticky pistons. We're going to place 1 in this direction right there, and also 1 in this direction right here, right there. There we go. And also place some obsidian here in the back to stop our machine from flying backwards too far. So now what you need to do is you need to duplicate this all the way across and make sure to leave your obsidian blocks there. Once you have all of your flying machines in, go ahead and come over here to this observer right here, and you're going to place a sticky piston in the upwards position. You're going to grab another observer and place that over here like that, with a block on its face like so. And you're going to come down a block, step up a block, come over by 1 more, step down a block again, and come over by 1 more. So that should give you the shape of this W type of shape like that. So that's what you want. You're going to go ahead and place a temporary block down here with a sticky piston in the upwards position again. You can break that one out and place an observer right here. That's going to go ahead and power those 2 blocks, which will power this redstone, and anytime any one of those observers gets let down, it'll power that observer, sending our machine off. So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and step up here by a couple blocks like that, just like that, and bring 2 more blocks out here like so. We can break these 2 out right here. Place in 2 temporary blocks right here with a couple sticky pistons in the downwards position like that. You can place a block like that and one down like that, catty corner to each other like so. You can break these 2 blocks out here and put repeaters on their faces just like that, and put redstone dust on top of these blocks right there. Come over here with your droppers. You're going to come over here just like this, and let's see here, we're going to break this block out here temporarily and place a dropper in like that, and place another one in here like this, facing in towards each other. And you're going to go ahead and get 3 blocks of your choice just like that, and place those in one side just like that, and go ahead and replace your block down here like so. So now what we're going to do is we need to go ahead and power these droppers right here. So how we're going to do that is we're going to come over here with a block like this and place in an observer in this direction just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and place another observer over here. So as you can see, these blocks toggle back and forth, which depends on which observer powers which dropper. So now in front of these observers we need to place 2 repeaters across just like this. Go ahead and place those across, and then you can place a sticky piston right here on the end with a daylight sensor and 2 repeaters facing just like that. And as you can see, that does power that dropper. So now what we need to do is we need to come over here off that dropper with a comparator. So I can come on down here with a block like that. There we go. Alright, then you're going to come off the side of that piston with a block right there, and you're going to do the same thing on this side. Go ahead and come down a block like that, break that one out, and you're going to put a comparator on both sides of your dropper. So go ahead and put one there and put one right there. And that should go ahead and be that done. Next, you need to go ahead and double check your circuit. So go ahead and click this on and off a few times. And if nothing's happening, you need to go ahead and switch these 2 blocks. So go ahead and get that down there and put this guy down over here like that. That'll go ahead and fix that problem. You need to switch those up. So now if we go ahead and do this, there we go. Turn that off and turn that back on again. You should see that they switched just like that. There we go, perfect. So let's go ahead and remove our temporary obsidian block just on this one flying machine, not the rest, just this first module here. And let's go ahead and trigger the system. So let's go ahead and change it to day. That should go ahead and activate the system and send our flying machine all the way over to the other side. Once your flying machine makes it down to the end here, you need a return station to send it back. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull power off of this observer facing into this block right here. You're going to put in a repeater set to 4 ticks, just like that. Go ahead and come up by a block and place another block out here, just like this. You're going to place a block out here as well, and then some more blocks out like that. Place in 1 repeater right here on 1 tick, and another repeater here set to 2, and some redstone dust right here. You're going to go ahead and place a block up in front of these 2 repeaters like this, just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and come back to that here in a second, because now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and activate this observer that I'm looking at right here. This observer is going to send the machine back, but the issue is that we have this observer here that we can update, and also we have these slime blocks here which we have to be careful of. So that means that we can't have anything sitting right here which needs to be pushed over to activate that observer, because otherwise it's going to get grabbed by the slime block. So that means that it needs to be retracted up here as well. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put in a piston right there. So let's go ahead and grab our regular piston. We're going to place that in here just like that right there. There we go. Go ahead and grab an observer. You're going to place that in here just like this, facing in that direction. That'll go ahead and activate that piston. Come up top just like this, just like this right here, and place in 2 sticky pistons facing downwards just like this right there. There we go. Go ahead and come over here on this side of that observer, place in a block, and then you're going to bring that over to these blocks right here just like this and complete that up. Now go ahead and bring redstone all the way up and across, and you can go ahead and place redstone dust on top of this piston right here, and that'll go ahead and activate both of those just like this. So now when we go ahead and activate this observer here, let's go ahead and activate this as if it were coming into the system, and it should send it on back. There it goes. When your flying machine returns home, you should see that the piston gets retracted back 1 block just like it was in the very beginning, before we had our temporary obsidian block right there. So everything's ready to be sent off once again. Now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and continue working on this guy really quick, because the water actually regenerates faster than the flying machine can actually get back. And what that'll do is some of this ice will actually create instantly, and it'll get pushed down by the flying machine on the way back, which will get you an uneven sheet of ice, which isn't good. So what we need to do is we need to go ahead and power our dispensers back here to retract our water. So what we need to do now is go ahead and come back here by our dispensers. We're going to place blocks in here just like this, and come out by 1 like that, and continue out that just like that. bring in some repeaters and face those in towards those blocks, and then step up a block behind the repeaters and bring that all the way back out like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and step on up like that, and step on up back this way, and then step up this way again just like that, and come out right here just like so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and come up here by a few blocks. We're going to cut this redstone off because we're going to be putting a line of redstone coming in right underneath here just like this. So we're going to go ahead and put a block right there and come out like that so we can break this one off. Go ahead and come all the way out like this, all the way down the line, and then once you get to the edge of this piston right here, you can go and step on up like that and bring that, continue that all the way down just like so. Now we're going to bring this all the way down to the beginning right here to this block, and what we need to do there is we need to step up a block right there and step up another block right here and add redstone dust all the way in like this. Okay, so we need to bring this all the way down just like this, all the way to this other block over here. Then once you get over here, you are going to need a repeater right there. Then you go ahead and place in some redstone dust all the way down and bring this all the way across just like that. Now depending on how long your farm is, you're going to have to make sure that you have enough power in here. So let's go ahead and test that out here really quick. Let's grab ourselves a redstone torch here, place that on the side just like that. That'll go ahead and tell us how far the redstone signal will go. Let's go ahead and break that redstone out right there and power that in there, and as you can see, that makes it the rest of the way, so that's perfect. So let's go ahead and get our water back in place. Let's go ahead and put that back in because it's ready to be done just like that. So there we go. Let's go and break this torch there. That should go ahead and do that. Alright, so now when this flying machine flies past, it should turn off the water. So finally when it actually gets up to the end, it'll push the ice down but actually not flow. Let's see if that's actually working here. Let's see if our ice or our water is retracted. Let's see here. We actually might need to do it again. Let's go ahead and do that one more time and see if it works here. Let's go ahead and do that just like this. If we were to fly by just like that, does that actually retract it? Let's see here. Yes, it retracts it. Awesome. So perfect. So right now in this stage, you're going to want to leave it in the on position. So let's go ahead and make it dispense out just like that. So now that your water's dispensed, that's all ready to go. The last piece to these modules is the send-off station for the next module. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and pull off this circuit right here, which is going to let the next module know when this one has actually reached the end. So let's go ahead and bring this on down here just like that, and you're going to need to cut off that one just like so. Bring this redstone down just like that with a sticky piston on its face with a block on top. Come off the side like that with a repeater off that one, and go ahead and bring that redstone dust all the way down to the other side. Power up your redstone right here and figure out where your repeaters need to go. Once you have your repeaters in, go ahead and come over here to the end, and then we're going to bring this all the way up to our observer. So we need to bring that out up to here, just right up to there, that level. Bring this down like that and make that meet up. Get your redstone dust all the way in, bring that all the way up, just like so. Where the redstone dust signal stops, you're going to need another repeater, so go ahead and place that in too. Go ahead and get yourself a repeater and place that in. That should power up all the way down there like that. Grab yourself a block. You're going to come down here to the end just like this, and you're going to break out this redstone here and break out that torch and place in a regular block just like that. That'll make sure that your dispenser down there doesn't get bud powered. So next we need to go ahead and try this thing out. Let's go ahead and see if it actually does send off our machine. Let's go ahead and break out our obsidian block right here just like so. Let's go ahead and change up our daylight sensor and make our machine fly off. Let's go ahead and change this up here. There we go. Should send off. Awesome. Alright, that's looking good. Now, during this process, it should have gone by this redstone trail right here, turning off the water in our dispensers, making it to where no water sources are going to form until the machine gets back home in its flying spot. And it looks like the next machine has started to fly off, which is perfect. And it looks like no water sources are being formed just yet. Everything's being pushed down perfectly. Once this reaches the end here, we should see that the water sources start forming back up again. Awesome, it's forming back up. Awesome. That's perfect. See how that ice formed instantly? The flying machine would have pushed that down, and it eventually breaks your farm towards the end. So now that that's done, now you need to go ahead and duplicate this entire system for every single module after this. There's a few differences that you're going to make. You're going to go ahead and replace these 4 blocks right here. You're going to replace obsidian where these 4 blocks are right there, just like that. And you're also going to come over here, and you're going to replace this block right here with obsidian too, the one with this redstone right here. You'd place obsidian right here, place that up like that, just like so. And that's because they're going to be grinding up against the slime blocks on this side. They're going to be grinding up against these slime blocks on these side of your modules. So I got the word there for a second. I was wondering where the flying machine went. Okay, so we're good. So basically we need to put that obsidian in there and over there on these on the rest of these modules. But on this first module, because there's no flying machine here, we can go ahead and leave it regular blocks of choice. So once you have all these duplicated over, you probably noticed as you went by that this piston right here was actually in the way of this circuit the way we built it the first time. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to change that circuit up to be just like this one right here. It's actually this circuit right here. So we're going to just scoot it back by 1 block. We're going to bring that whole repeater back by 1, just like that. Break that out, put a repeater in there, put a block on its face, just like that, and 1 out to the side with some more redstone dust out in front. That'll go ahead and make that exactly the same as all of these. And the reason why that had to scoot back is because this block right here gets pushed up by that piston. Otherwise, that circuit would just get broken rather less, because before the repeater was right on top of that piston. So now that that's all done, also too, the other correction I made was these obsidian blocks go down here, not up here. So that should go ahead and correct that too. And doing this should be able to allow you to break 1 block right there. So now everything should be the same. Everything is duplicated all the way across for all the modules. The only thing that's going to be different is the send back station for the very last one, because it doesn't have another module to send off. So it's just going to simply die out right there. So you're not going to go ahead and worry about that piston or the entire circuit over here on this side. And that is pretty much it. Let's go ahead and see what else we have to do. We still need to build up our entrance and also put in our XP bottle counter. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and break a hole in the floor for our entrance. Go ahead and do that, and place a ladder at your floor level just like so. Place a block on top with a rail, and then go ahead and place your minecart on top of that and break your block out, and then go ahead and collect your rail. Grab your slabs of choice and put those around here just like that. That looks nice and neat now. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to come right over here like this with a sticky piston. That's going to be on the back side of this block right there, just like that. There we go. Alright, that's going to push that block down into the water stream, holding the player there until the next day cycle when they're allowed to go through and then ice has been pushed down. And then you'll be able to exit the minecart right here just by clicking on it, and it'll take you up just like that. So that's pretty neat. And so let's go ahead and put in our lights. So we're going to go ahead and scoot over by 1 just like this, and we're going to come up like that, and also scoot over by 1 and put 1 right there as well. This one here is going to have a lever on it, and this one here is going to have a button. Now we need to go ahead and wire up these to the system. First up is our on switch. We need to link that up to this piston right here. So what we're going to do temporarily is take that piston out. And so we're going to place a couple temporary blocks down here like this, break that one out, and break that one out. And we're going to place in an observer facing up like that. That's going to power that piston once we put it back, but let's leave it out for now until the end of this part right here. So let's go ahead and come down here now. What we're going to do is detect when this light comes on with an observer just like that. That's going to go into a dropper, and then we're going to go ahead and place a couple temporary blocks out here and crouch place an observer on the face of that dropper just like that. Now we can go ahead and break these out just like that. There we go. Now we can place an observer facing upwards from that observer right there, and then from there we need to go ahead and place a dropper, then observer, then dropper, then observer, then dropper, then an observer, and I think we can actually come down one like that. There we go. Alright, now we need to go ahead and come off a few blocks over here. Let's go ahead and do that. And crouch place an observer in that direction right there. There we go. Alright, now we can go ahead and bring these observers all the way this way now. We can bring them just like that all the way until we get underneath that observer just like that. Now we can go ahead and place this back in place, and since that's in the off position, we can go ahead and test our farm and make sure that all the sheets of ice are pretty good. This is a good time to test our farm, so we're going to go ahead and turn it in the on position and see if everything goes ahead and functions. So let's go ahead and turn this on. Let's see here. Now that should go ahead and put that in the up position. Perfect. It turned the farm off, which is awesome. And then if we turn it back on, it should turn, or turn it back off, it should turn the farm off. There we go. Awesome. All right, and since it's not powered, it's not actually doing anything yet. So let's go ahead and test our farm out. Let's go ahead and activate the daylight cycle. There we go. It's going to send our machines off. Let's see if everything triggers all at once. Yes, the final thing has taken off. All it needs to do is return. I did have to remove the obsidian blocks that were holding the machines in. That's the only thing I had to do, so you guys can go ahead and do that now. Make sure that your machines fly back and forth, that you didn't make any mistakes, and if you did, you're going to have to go ahead and correct those now. Next is our entrance. We need to go ahead and come off this piston by 2 blocks like that. Break this one out, get a redstone torch and place that in there like that. You need to come off the downside of this block right here and break that one out and get yourself a little area like that coming off that block. Place in a comparator going into the block and then facing away from the block like that, and put in redstone dust there and there. Place in a block at your lamp, place in a block down like this, place in a repeater right here, and some redstone dust on top. That's going to go ahead and power up your comparator clock, which will go ahead and open up the entrance. So now anytime you hit this button, you should see you have a delay amount of time that you're allowed to actually go in the system, get inside before the glass block actually closes. When you approach the end of the farm, you should be stopped by your glass block just like this in front of your entrance. When you want to get out, all you need to do is L2 on your minecart, press exit, run backwards on top of that ladder that you placed down in there, and then hop out nice and neatly like that. Don't hold forward; it's going to make you run on top of that ladder really funky. You need to hold backwards first, get on top of the ladder, and then you can exit. So that's the on switch all done now. Now what we need to do is we need to actually put in our dispenser for bottles of enchanting, which needs to go right here. So first things first, go ahead and grab your hopper and place that into the side of your dispenser with your shulker box full of bottles of enchanting to go ahead and load into that, and you should see that they'll start loading in really nice and quickly. Now let's go ahead and grab our building blocks right here. Let's go ahead and grab that and toss that out. We can also toss that out too. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab our regular pistons. We're going to need that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and come up by 2 blocks right here, put those up like that, and we're going to come off here just like so, and we're going to put 2 droppers in facing each other just like this, right here and right here, just like that. You can take these 2 blocks out. Once you put 2 more blocks in right here, you're going to go ahead and break those 2 out, grabbing some comparators and put those on those blocks right here, with some sticky pistons facing up just like this, with some observers facing outwards from them just like so. You're going to go ahead and grab some slabs, put those in just like that, with some redstone dust going across those. Those are going to go up into a block like this, with a piston on the back side of those, with a block right here on their faces, just like this on both sides. You're going to do that right here as well, with a sticky piston and a block, just like that. And go ahead and run redstone dust up there on top of both of those. So now off to the side over here, when this block gets extended, we're going to be reading what it says in this comparator. So let's go ahead and bring a block out like this, and when that block extends, this comparator should read that. That's going to go ahead and go into another block, and on the other side of that, you're going to have a dot of redstone. And on the side of that dot of redstone, you're going to go a block up like this. You can break these 2 out right here. You can break that one out if you want. And then over here, you're going to place in a repeater like this. You're going to set that to subtract mode, and then go ahead and place in some more redstone. Come over here with another block right here, and place in yourself a repeater, which will power that dropper anytime it has any items in it whatsoever. So it'll reset the entire system. Now we're going to do the same thing over here, and let's go ahead and put that in. So let's go ahead and get ourselves in our comparator right here. Put that in just like that. That's going to go up into a block like this, with a block out here. Go ahead and break this one out. That's going to have redstone dust with a block on the side right there. And then we're going to have a block down there and a block over here. We're going to have a repeater there, redstone dust there. That's going to be on subtract mode, and we're also going to power that. This one here is also going to power our dispenser, so however many items you put in this dropper, it's going to just dispense out the system. The only problem is now is that this thing, it will go back and forth forever, so now we have to make a stopping circuit, which will only allow it to go through in one cycle. And to wire that up, you're going to go ahead and come on top of this piston here with a regular piston just like that. Come up with a temporary block with a sticky piston facing downwards on the side like this. And then same thing over here with a regular piston facing downwards just like that. That's going to pick the block up and then shove it over, getting it ready to be pushed back down into the system once the brain up here tells it to. But first we need to go ahead and wire these up. So let's go ahead and bring our redstone up and around just like this. That can go ahead and wrap it around just like that. And then you're going to go ahead and build a little 2x2 area like this with a repeater right here set to 2 ticks and bring your redstone all the way around just like that. Now what we need to do is connect this last piston up to the top brain up here. And to power up this final piston over here, we're going to place a block on top of this piston right here and go ahead and come all the way up here on top of this block right here. You're going to place a observer out like this right here off to the side and get a repeater off the side of this block right here, which this redstone should run right into, which will power that repeater and that observer will detect it. You're going to run that observer chain all the way down and you should see that that lands right on top of that block here. Let's go ahead and get that coming all the way down just like that, and you should see that that fires both of those pistons just like that, which is perfectly fine because at that time this block will actually get pushed over right here, and that's the block that we want powered anyway. So the last part of this is allowing the player to go back around the farm once he's received all of his bottles of enchanting, which is actually going to be with a redstone torch right here off of that block right here, which would be underneath this one, which is going to get extended into your comparator right here. What you're going to do off of that block is you're going to go ahead and come over here like this with a repeater just like that, block up like this, and a redstone torch on top. A block on top of that torch just like this right there, and you're going to link that up to this block right there just like so. You're going to put redstone dust on top, cutting that redstone dust off there, and put redstone dust all the way around just like this. That'll make sure that anytime that this piston is extended, once all of your bottles of enchanting have been dispensed, the piston will open while the items in this timer get put back into the original dropper, and then it'll close back up once that's empty, but by that time the player will be off into the farm and it'll be reset, so when the player comes back in, it'll stop until the next day cycle resets the entire system. Now that that's in, we'll be coming back to that to put in our items in the dropper. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and come back over here and create our little entrance. So go ahead and get yourself an entrance up to the front of your redstone there. You can break out these couple blocks right there and bring out yourself another little corridor just like that, and then fill in your floor blocks. Then once you do that, you can go and grab your light sources. You can place these in here on top just like this, and go ahead and place these in here just like that. You should see that these are 4 blocks away from any of the ice here or there. Make sure that you have 4 blocks away. So now you can go ahead and spread these out across your farm all the way around, except for on the sides closest to the glass. So just put your light sources on the ends just like that. Over here on the sides, you're going to be placing in glass all the way along this side, all the way up to your iron blocks up here. And same thing on that side, you're going to take that wall all the way up as well. In the center here, you're going to grab your glass panes, put these in here just like that, and stretch those all the way across, as well as all the way up to your iron blocks. Once you have all of your glass in between and on the outsides of your farms to box those in, go ahead and come over here to where your entrance is. You're going to break this piece of glass out right here, right in this little area. Come down to this wall. You're going to break out that wall and replace that with a redstone block, and place a trap door up there just like that so it stays in the open position. Go ahead and replace your floor. And now what we're going to do is we're actually use our farm. Let's go ahead and see if that is not in the on position. Let's go ahead and remove this piston here really quickly, and then turn our farm in the on position just like that. There we go. That'll go ahead and activate this without actually pushing the trapdoor or the daylight sensor up. So now our farm is in the on position and our lever is in the on position too. So that's matched up now. So now what we're going to do, let's go ahead and set ourselves in survival mode now. Let's go ahead and get that up here. Now you're going to need to grab your pick, which should have efficiency 5 silk touch, mending and unbreaking on it. And once you have that, you're going to go ahead and hit this button right here. Go ahead and walk on in just like this. There we go. Walk on through. Okay, now you're going to look at your trap door. You're going to press yourself into this corner, and you're going to look at the top right corner of your trap door right there, just like that. Alright, now you're going to hold down your R2 trigger with a rubber band or something like that, and go ahead and let go of the controller and let it do the rest. And if I had ice in front of me, I'd be breaking it right now, just like you guys will be. So go ahead and take an entire lap around your entire farm. Once you've made a full trip around your farm, you should see that some of the durability has been used up on your pick. And once you're sitting right here, let's go ahead and exit the farm. You're going to come out here and exit on your minecart there. Go ahead and exit just like this. Now what you need to do is go ahead and come out here away from any ledges and go ahead and grab your bottles of enchanting now. And you're going to go ahead and place these right here by your pick. And what you want to do is you want to go ahead and look straight up, toss one, and then let it land on you. Now you're going to count how many bottles of enchanting it takes to mend your pick. So go ahead and throw one up just like this and hold your pick just like that. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bottles of enchanting we're going to need. So that means that we need to go ahead and grab ourselves 15 blocks of stones. Let's go ahead and do that here real quick. Oop, let's do this here. 15 blocks of stone. Let's go ahead and grab these. And we're going to place 15 blocks inside of this dropper right here. So let's go ahead and do that here real quick. Grab these out here just like that. That should be 15. There we go. That'll activate that system. Now, when the whole brain up here tells the farm to go, it should push this block down, which will activate the system, which will start dispensing out bottles of enchanting. So let's go ahead and test that out here really quick. Let's go ahead and change the night, day, night cycle. Let's go ahead and set night like that, and then set day, and then set night. That's going to set everything off. And as you can see, we get our 15 bottles of enchanting, just like so, while the player would still be inside because the piston is down, and after all the bottles of enchanting have gone, it lets the player go through the farm. And then here, after just a short bit, after all the items have gone back through, the player stopping system goes back down, so when the player makes a full loop around his farm, he comes back into the AFK position, ready to take more bottles of enchanting for the next round. One thing that I just thought of is that while this farm is actually running without the ice actually being in there, or if you come in here and use it for the manual mode and you mine out all the ice yourself, when it's replenishing all that space, you're not going to want the bottles of enchanting spewing out into the open. You're going to want to save those. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add an on-off switch to this. So let's go ahead and come out with a few blocks like that. Come around with a sticky piston 1 block away from that block right here underneath your piston. You're going to go ahead and break this block out right here, place in a block on the side of that glass block, which would be on the back side of your piston right here. Go ahead and place in a redstone lamp like that with a lever on the side. That is going to go ahead and turn on your XP design, and then it's also going to turn it off when you're done using it. So anytime you're done with the farm, on your way out, you're just going to flick this in the off position, which will make sure that anytime the farm's running, your XP won't get dispensed. But if you want to turn the entire farm off, you're going to come over here and flick this lever. That'll go ahead and turn the entire thing off. Once you finally have that all in, go ahead and come back up top, and you're going to place in some light sources on these pistons right here, and you're going to place a line of light sources all the way down the line, stretching from one end to the other. And you're going to go ahead and bring these all the way across here, just like this. I'll do this on camera for you guys. Bring this all the way across, and even over here on this side, you're going to go ahead and bring these all the way to the back side of your farm, so no mobs spawn on any of the redstone. So you're going to do the same thing back here. So you have a bit of redstone right there, which you have to miss. So let's go ahead and cover that up like this, and go ahead and bring this all the way down, just like so, out to the edge of your farm. That should keep any of the mob spawnings away from all of your redstone. Now you need to go ahead and do that on every single module that you have. Once you have all of your light sources in a row, what you're going to do now is make sure that you're in nighttime and make sure that your difficulty is set to hard. What you're going to do is you're going to move away from your farm at least 32 blocks, but keep it within 128 blocks. And what you want to do now is go ahead and head back over and look for any mobs. As long as you don't have any mobs near your farm, you know that everything's lit up nice and neatly enough to go ahead and keep all the mobs away from your farm. So as soon as you have that, then you know that your lighting is good. So once you're done with that, guys, your farm is complete. Now keep in mind, down here in the big cubes of ice, you can mine these out manually. Now if you leave the edges jagged, which may happen, it's not a big deal. Your farm will push the ice down regardless. But at the very last 12th layer, the block push limit, only some of the blocks will get pushed down, and your water sources will look like this. Ice will be forming in here, and when the water goes to reform its infinite water sources, the ice will be in the way of that happening, so you won't have a full sheet of ice, which isn't a big deal because all you have to do is go down here in the AFK part of the farm, mine out that layer of ice, which is going to be, broken up. It's going to have, bits and pieces here and there, but that'll allow this piston machine to go ahead and push down whatever blocks are left over in the farm, allowing the infinite water sources to create all the way back through. So essentially, it's self-fixing, so don't worry about it breaking, guys. Like I said, if the water sources break up top, all you have to do is go around the farm, break all the ice like you would normally, so it's pretty much self-fixing. And also down here for the storage, like I said in my past videos, I do have a shulker box storage solution video, because I'm sure that one chest is not going to cut it for you guys. If you guys are having a farm this size, you guys are going to have tons and tons of ice. So I will include that link on the end screen for you guys, my shulker box storage solutions video. I have a bunch of cool ways that you guys can load and unload shulker boxes with redstone contraptions, so that's pretty neat. And with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys there. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and if you did, please remember to hit that like button, and if you really liked it, please remember to subscribe, and as always, share this video with all your friends. I'm Broken Bones, and I will see you guys next time.